Ladies and gentlepawns, welcome back to the Road to Title series as we continue to climb up the rating ladder to see how far we can get and to see if we can achieve the Candidate Master title of 2200. A little bit of an update. We have officially gotten a rating. Apologies for the really cringy photo, but we are 1622. Which I believe is a really good start. I've heard of a lot of people starting in the 1500s, 1400s. I think the floor is around 1400 now. So yeah, it's nice to see that we're in 1622. Still got a lot to improve. Our rating will probably most likely improve each and every month, as hopefully I want to do tournament the month kind of thing. But we shall see. We are heading to the Edmonton Sectional in about 10 days. So really excited, really looking forward to really up my rating because I'm probably going to be in a higher rating class. And yeah, this will be really exciting. But yes, guys, I have some games. I have a lot of fun games to show you. In fact, let's get into it. I've been playing Rapid and Classical. Those are the two main time controls. So this game was a 10-minute Rapid. Played at, what time was I playing this at? At a ridiculous time in the morning. I think it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't know why I was doing that, but still, same thing. We get this opening, which is called the Spleeman Indian. And basically, this is the move I'll play if they go into different ideas. And I'm learning about the advanced with D5, where I'm probably going to play E6 and D6 and just play super solidly and see if I can get an advantage and capitalize off the mistakes of white if they go too crazy. So yeah, I will do this if they also play bishop to F4. So C5 is also my counter as well. But he plays this, and after takes, and D5, I mean, this is just normal. It's kind of funny because it actually turns from a Spleeman into our Carl Khan, because you now have the Carlsbad structure, and this is perfectly what you want. So bishop back, takes, E6, knight to C6, bishop E7, and A5. And so this is just all normal stuff. I think I've mastered the Caro extremely well in the opening. I have no problems with it. It's my baby. It will continue to be my baby, and I will continue to fight. And see, maybe, I don't know, we'll see in this tournament. I may have to do some more theory on my opponents. A lot of my opponents are either new to the game or are not in the latest database. And so, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out pairings, so I will be doing a lot of theory preparation as the tournament gets closer, but I don't know what section I'm going to be in. So I just continue to play and sharpen my skills. We get A4, queen to B6, and so now we are attacking this weak pawn. We get rook to B1, which is normal. Black has a slight advantage because this is a little bit inaccurate. I think in most situations, B3 is best. It does look a little bit weakening of the pawns, but white can always move queen to C1 or something like that, castles, and be fine, and then play something like rook B1 and just kind of make this pawn cluster and kind of keep it together. Rook B1, there's kind of different ideas. You can push, but I wouldn't highly suggest it. I mean, it's an all right move, but yeah. Castles, rook C8. And looking at this now, I think rook C8 was a little odd of a move. And I think the best move in this position was something like queen A6 and then B5. So let me just double check. Yeah, queen A6 and then planning to play B5. This just looks better. But as a principal Carl Khan player, rook C8 is completely fine. I played that. And then after the knight to E5, white has this nice structure and is looking to capitalize on putting this knight here. You don't really want to take. That's not the idea. Queen to C7, now applying more pressure on the knight, planning to actually take the knight. But my opponent plays knight takes, and now this gives us the initiative, because after pawn takes, like I said, this Carlsbad structure, everything's on the light squares, and we're planning to strike with C5. Queen f3, c5, takes, bishop back. And then we just walk back. Like, the Carl Khan is so simple, and even as a 2000, nearing 2100, it's been a while because I play games, and I don't play games, or I get busy with my schedule. I'm working 10 days straight. It's going to be wild. But yeah, like, after this, the game is quite nice. And in fact, computer suggests e5 right away. E5, this, you kind of run away from the Carlsbad structure, and you just start pushing your pawns in the center. But I played this. I said, okay, I'm fine with a queen or a bishop trade. Takes, bishop there, and knight to b3. And so now, looking back, I was thinking, maybe we can go like queen here and attack this, but we kind of lose our own pawn, so maybe I should just drop back, attack the knight, and protect the pawn. So that's what I did, and that's the best move. And then he plays knight to d4, which looks like a really good move because, yes, you're controlling squares and you're on an anchor. But here comes knight e4, and now I'm asking questions on like what is the rook gonna do defending? I mean, you can go here, but after going here, I mean, this is kind of gonna be interesting. I mean, what am I thinking in this position? Probably something like rook c4. And if you go here, there's just this. And yeah, black can be in a very nice position. And in fact, after queen here, like, I just have e5. And now this is where I break the structure because I realize I can just start pushing all my pawns. And what's crazy is after knight b5, my position has an advantage, but I have to play f5. And f5, I looked at it later, I said, well, that just kind of looks silly, but the reason with f5 is crazy. And here's where I'll show you my inaccurate move. I play f6. But what's crazy is that after f6, white has counterplay with c4. And if I take, I lose my knight. Now, if I had played f5 and he tries to counterplay, there is no takes. And it's funny because I looked at the position, I was analyzing the game later, and I'm like, oh my word. Like, just little things like that. So in the tournament that's upcoming, I have 60 minutes plus 30-second increments. So it's just a matter of trying to see if white can make some counterplay. And yes, I was throwing my pawns out, but I was still kind of going for a more solid approach. And, you know, I realized that white can actually capitalize on trying to, go for a solid approach isn't always the best. And it's just flinging out pawns and going for the attack, putting all your pawns in the center and letting white not come out with counterplay with his pawns as well. So, yeah, but none of that happens. There's no c4. My opponent plays this. And after rook f to d8, like, this is nothing's going anywhere. The queen's in a nice spot, keeping an eye on this diagonal. The knight can always do some tricks like going to g3, which I'm not sure if it happened, but I don't think it did. No, he went here. Okay. And so this is where the fun begins. Knight back. He goes rook here, h4. Look at this. The black position, like the black solidification is just beautiful to see. And he was like, well, let me try and challenge that black. But I'm like, I don't know what that is. Like, what, you're planning to go here? Like, that's your entire goal? In fact, he does play this instead of playing here. But look at this. I just have g4. Or, sorry, g5. Like, what's crazy is you probably think that this is just absolute lunacy. But because the queen defends this weak pawn now, this is now the backwards pawn, like, white can't do much. And so, yeah, the pawns are just all going to come forward. King h1, I was like, a little surprised. And I was like, well, centralize again. Knight e4. Like, now we're defending this weak pawn one more time. And now we're planning to do, like, forks and stuff, like opening things up. Rook takes d4, or rook takes e4. In fact, it's kind of funny because let's say you try to defend this. There's f5. and the rook is trapped. Like, what? What is this? Like, it's crazy because just flinging these pawns out kind of came in my favor. And this queen, which is kind of its home square in certain Caro positions, just holds everything together. It's amazing what the Caro has done for players like me. It's been such an asset. Queen takes, king g7. Only move, by the way, because there's counterplay with like queen g6 and stuff. So I had to play that move. And then, yeah, the position's nice. I play rook d to h8. Maybe there was a better move. Maybe I should have done something like rook here and then doubled up the rooks and try and maybe traded or gone for the attack quicker. But rook h8, rook a to d8, we trade off the pieces, and then this is a very important square to put your queen. Like, this was not the place to put your queen, and this was a beautiful place to put my queen. Now I just have this, everything's infiltrated, game over. Knight c7. What? Okay, continue on. He gives a check, and I play the more inaccurate move, which was king f7, but still winning. But this is where you have no checks. Now I played this because if I go back, this is just bad. Like this is just me, which is crazy. So I had to be careful with where I put my king. But king f5 is still reasonably fine. I mean, yeah, he should have played check and then try and maybe like run my king out into the open, which could have been scary. I mean, this looks like this is mate, hilariously enough. So like there's like the king, you know, had to find the better square, but it is still winning, right? And then he plays this. And if you want, pause the video, find mate in 3. The move order is kind of spicy, kind of beautiful, but queen e1, queen g3, and queen g2 mate. So that's game 1. And I was against 1955. So considering that this guy was over 100 elo difference, you can definitely see the difference in play. Now let's go to the next game. Remember how a couple months ago I said that I struggled with the Sicilian? Well, gentlemen, let me show you the fun stuff. I play an open Sicilian now instead of playing my Grand Prix, which I did for a very long time. The Grand Prix wasn't as effective. And you know, I see some like Road to 200, not Road to 200, Road to 2000 YouTubers that still play this. Maybe because they watched one Gotham video and they thought that was fine. I had to come to the conclusion that this was just straight up bad for white. Now, especially when you're playing in an overboard setting, and that this is like the meta. If you want to get at least somewhat of an advantage or maybe a draw against black, playing the open Sicilian is the best. And so we get a Rossalimo. And so this is one of the preparation openings we're doing. There's also like Franco, which I just play like c3, which is funny. And then there's also like d6. I still play c3. So there's the delayed Alapin with the open Sicilian knights. And then there's the Rossalimo, which is also in my toolbox. Castles, and then d7. I think this is also called the canal attack. Canal attack. What do you mean canal? And yeah, I guess in theoretical positions, the best move or the move that masters use is rook to e1 or c3. The c3 is kind of a new idea that's been happening in more modern games of chess. But I played d3, and because I realized sometimes I've looked at games in the database where if you play rook e1 early, there's different ideas of, you know, counterplay for black, and yeah, it's no longer better. I would have to continue to look at different ideas of the Rossalimo, but I just kept it simple. He plays e5, which this like structure is considered good for black, but for me, after that, there's just c3. And now c3 prepares d4 and striking in the center and just blowing up the center and opening up the position. Knight to f6, bishop pin, bishop there, rook e1, castles, d4. And, okay. Computer suggests that black has a minute advantage. But after everything gets taken, okay. Now, white has an active queen, ready to play knight c3, ready to get into the game, and now has this strong e4 pawn. Compared to this, which is guarded by here, I mean, okay, this could get traded off, but I like this because there's always ideas and threats. h6, bishop back, and then this really odd move, knight to h7, and I'm like, what? Like, okay, this is a simple idea. And maybe his idea is to go knight g5, but that's not a natural move. It's funny. I think in a tournament I played, it was last year, I played some sort of knight maneuver. Maybe it was with the white pieces in a Polish game, and this was just bad. And yeah, usually the knight to like the h7 square or h2 square or whatever you are is considered just like a bad move. Like, and so this idea of bringing the knight to an open square where the king was, the computer hates it, and it's just theoretically bad. So bishop takes, or queen takes, and knight c3. And you can go back here, right? But I have the knight here, and after takes, like now I own this file. Let's say you go here, now I own this file. White's nice. I like this position for white. In fact, the idea is maybe not to trade everything off, and in fact, just try and see if you can hold your position, maybe put your rooks on a dominant file and try and blow up the position for black. But I like this. My pawn's more advanced, and white looks fine, and I think I would probably come out on top. Let's check the analysis. Okay, it's a drawish, but you never know. You're going to be playing 16, 1700 FIDEs, and they're going to blunder something at some point. None of that happens. We get a6. And now I can just put my knight on d5. And I'm like, oh, I'm happy. Okay. Tries to trade the queens off. I say, okay, fine. It's funny because I realize, oh yeah, this would have been really, really nice. I could have just doubled my rooks and maybe start transferring my knight into fun places. But none of that happened. I was just like, okay, cut the BS, let's go. Knight here, knight back to maneuver, and then this f5 move. And it's funny, I was expecting this move, and I was like, wait, why do you play knight f5? It's crazy because now you just gave me the e7 square to go here. And then he plays king to g8, and I'm winning the game with a fork. Or am I? And you want to know something funny? It was just like I was so focused on getting just this one pawn, I completely missed the tactic that was right there of a fork. Like, the things you miss, the things that you get hyper focused on. And I realized that, okay, another thing to notice is take your time, don't rush it. I think I spent like 3 seconds on this too. Yeah, so 3 seconds. 3 seconds on knight takes f5. And so, yes, it's still an advantage, but it's not as good as 4+7 where you win a rook for a knight. So, whatever. Knight here, pawn to f3. Takes. And then, after this, this is the easiest endgame of my life. There's no way I can lose this, right? Let's see. Rook to e7. I start bringing my king in. I still bring my king in. He goes rook here. And the reason why I brought my king here was to protect these squares from the rook trying to knock out my second rank. I give a check. I walk back. Hilariously enough, this is a great move according to Stockfish. He plays this. I play h4, so he doesn't keep marching his pawns forward. He plays king here, and after that, I play rook e6. And this is great. Can't go here, lose the pawn. Cannot go here, because you also lose the pawn. And that's what happened. It was just a nice move. And, whoops, totally did not, whoops, totally did not ruin the entire video. But yeah, after I have access to the e6 square. He goes here, check, takes. And so he plays this. And now I bring the rook back to the center. And now my pawns are going to start marching forward. Notice how I don't take here, because his king can get into the game. And yeah, this is still good, but I don't even want to allow the king to have access to the dark squares. I mean, I could go here, but there's this. And yeah, I wasn't willing to risk that. So g3. Takes. Black's king can't go anywhere, believe it or not. Great. Now we push our pawn. Now we bring our king in. He get a check. King goes here. He goes here. I bring the rook in. He moves his king. I bring my king as well. Thinking about this now, I think I should have just done this. I think this would have been even better. And this is completely winning. But it was late at night. So here, he goes back. I go here. He goes back. And we kind of shuffle around. I play here. And then I finally get my own way. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I realize now that this is just better. Because my pawn's just going to go forward past pawn. But then I played this. And yeah, I'm still winning. But could have kept winning. And then I just walk my pawn all the way to the other side of the board. Promotes. And then he starts pushing. I start pushing. This h6 pawn was very important because if here, let's say I didn't have access to this, well, I just go rook g7 and you can't do anything. The game is over. And it's like mate in 6. I can just take the pawn, promote, and my opponent resigns. Another solid game. Other than maybe this silly, goofy move of me not taking the opportunity to fork. It was a good game. And so once again, had a great game. But now I got last but not least, a special game for you. This game was a 10 plus 5. But there's a twist to it. This game was played on Roblox. You're probably thinking, what? And I may put out a video about this, but there is this Roblox chess game that came out called Chess Club. Shout out to Call Drops. I see you, bro. Yeah, I was just playing random people. You know, it's you just sometimes like to get off, you know, Lead Chess and, you know, chess.com, and you just gotta go and play on different platforms and stuff. And, you know, I was like, okay, why not? You like see what's going on, and, you know, okay, there's gonna be cheaters and stuff. But I was just playing normal people, and I was playing a guy that said he was 1300 on chess.com. So I was like, okay, let's get a good game. E4, get the Caro Con, get the short variation, takes, and Queen A5. And this is just, I love this variation. I think I'm learning the variation if they do play this Queen A5 in the towel, where I think it's like, you know, something like this, where, you know, you get like a position where, you know, you get something like this, takes, queen takes here. Let's say they go here. There's this move. And it's really fascinating. I think this is the idea. Yeah, this is the idea. Because after this, there's some like really violent attacks, and like you have to make sure that you like bring your piece back and all that. Anyways, enough of that. Let us go back to the other game. So we get a short variation. I go here, and then he plays queen b3, which I think at the master database has never been played before. And the reason why is because I develop my knight. He develops his knight. I play c5, which is normal. He plays knight here. I play rook c8. Hilariously enough, it just wants me to play c4. Not play that move, sorry. Take, and then take, and this is positionally better for black. And I'm just a knight for 2 pawns. But I didn't think about that. I played rook c8. Considered part of the thematic idea. And then he plays castles. And this loses after c4. Because the queen has no spots to guard the knights. And this is like the only move. But that doesn't happen. He plays knight to d6 check. Can't take back because then he loses his queen. And then I just drop my bishop back to c7. I think this is the best move. I was looking at the analysis, and I think on a low depth engine they were saying that bishop to e7 was the move, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. Why? Who plays bishop e7 to compromise development? Like, doesn't make sense. So bishop c7, knight e7, castles. That's my idea. He brings his knight. I bring my knight here. And then he, of course, he wants to cause a little trouble with me not having my king castled. And he sacrifices the knight. Takes, and I bring my king to g8. And this is where the fun begins. He goes here to threaten the pawn, but his queen's just going to be the savior of the day and just hold this entire section together. I bring my knight in, and I sacrifice my knight. Now, why do I sacrifice my knight? Well, hilariously enough, he wants to play this and just obliterate my position. And since I don't have any 7th rank protectors like this, I kind of have to sacrifice material. But I can. I'm up a full knight. So I sacrifice my knight. Takes back. And now I got tempo on his queen. Still can't take. Queen's here. He goes back. I play g6. Now, I didn't want to do any discoveries because, it could be a bit risky. And I was just like, okay, play this. If he plays here, I don't know. I will probably just walk back now. And then everything in the position will be fine. Actually, maybe not. I won't even take. I'll wait for him to take, and then I'll play like knight g6 or something. He plays this. And let me tell you that after a little bit of thought, I'm like, okay, well, I could go here, but this doesn't look good after, f here. Okay, maybe check, but I wasn't so sure. And then I thought of a really creative idea. And this is where I think Vladimir Kramnik may come into my room, search through my files, and see if I have stockfish.exe downloaded on my computer. Because this move genuinely is the most insane move you're about to see. Ladies and gentlemen, mic drop, please. Knight f7. Unbelievable. Attacking the queen and still allowing the rook to fall. Like, it's crazy. And the idea of this is now the queen has to move with there's tempo on the queen, and my bishop comes and saves this diagonal. Like it was insane. I was like, when I made this move, I'm like, maybe it works. Like, I wasn't so sure. I thought this game was so creative, and it was. He goes here, now bishop here, and the game's fine. I mean, I could have played something like this. Actually, I can't because the rook hangs. But this was insane. He goes here, I take, he takes, but my position is still fine. What's crazy is he can't take because his rook is hanging. He gives me a check. I go here. My knight is hanging, but his rook is also hanging again. Like, this game had so many different variables, so many tricks and different tactics. Like, it was amazing. And this game just felt great. He takes, and then I don't even take his rook. I don't even take his rook. His other rook is going to fall. He goes here. His rook falls. He goes back. I take his pawn. And, like, the game is over. Check. Bishop check. Going here. Like, no counterplay at all. Oh yeah, I think I hung this, which is hilarious. In the game, I was like, like, I was shocked because I'm like, oh my goodness, I hung this. But what's crazy is I think the position remains fine. Like, I think I have, what do I have? I'm not so sure. Oh yeah, maybe like rook here, maybe queen here. I don't know. But just this game alone was just insane. Like, okay, other than this mistake, everything other than that in the middle game was just unbelievable. Like, I was just like somehow feeling like I was like the greatest player, ignoring threats. Like, it just felt great. Like, this game felt great, other than losing my bishop. But he didn't take my bishop, and I go here, and now everything's protected. Everything's going. This is going on the next move. Takes, bishop takes, and mate's coming very soon. Tried to sacrifice, get some counterplay, but yeah. That game was it. Honestly, this game was awesome. I mean, okay, other than my opponent, losing his knight, but then trying to get counterplay and, going in with this attack. I mean, this attack definitely looks scary. But sacrifice a knight, and then sacrificing the rook, and finding this, like, and then going here, and then taking, and then, okay, losing the pawn, and then getting checked. This, like, so much going on. It was just insane, and it was great. Like, okay, Stockfish is gonna say like 75% or something, because yes, I made a few inaccurate moves, but just this game was amazing feeling. Like, it was just like, wow, I feel invincible. And yeah, I mean, okay, 1300, not as good as I would like to play in different opponents, but it's practice and it's fun. And I'm starting to realize that, okay, my chess is getting better each and every day, but continuing to work on the important stuff. Continue to look for the tactics, continue to look for the ideas, and continue to fight against your opponents. And that's what I've been learning. And these 3 games were just awesome. Just awesome, awesome. And I feel like I will come into this, tournament with confidence, but be wary and not too confident. Because I know that I've only played in 3 tournaments. Now I'm going to be playing in my 4th. And, there's always going to be stuff going through your head, and the experience is not there, and la-di-da-di-da. So, yeah, I'm excited. Tournaments in a couple days. Hopefully I can get it streamed. I'm not sure. I'd like to get it streamed, but we shall see. If I can't get a can't speak. If I can't get a DGT board, I will be streaming it, but there won't be like any analysis. It will just be the game, like my game with, just the phone. So, yeah, let's hope that all goes well and we'll have a fun time here today. And yeah, thank you for coming along. Thank you for everybody that has been supporting. The viewership has been a little lower, but that's not going to discourage me. And I do want to thank for everyone that has come to the end of each and every video. So thank you, and blessings.